Hello everybody, a warm welcome to the new session of Holochain-in-Action, session number 9. I hope you already had enough time to review the previous session, especially if you are a developer. All the links about the repository, other tools like Gym that can help you to build Holochain application easier to understand Holochain, you can find in the description. If you would like to participate in Holochain-in-Action session, you need to fill out the application form. You can find the link also in the description. And please, warm welcome for any feedback, any topic, improvement. And warm welcome for a pair programming. If you are implementing something you would like to share with others, if you are in the middle of project, you need more technical support, please warm welcome as far as we can, and others can share their experience. So this session is about Kizuna messenger application based on the Holochain. It's the peer-to-peer distributed messenger. So we invited Tats to come here to explain about the project, and this session and most probably the next session we are going to take a deeper look and technical deep dive to the Kizuna to see what kind of modularity is there, how we can implement, what are the concerns, and for sure you can receive some idea for your application also. And if you are going to have more questions, please warm welcome in the forum.holochain.org, or in YouTube comment. Please reply your feedback, your question that Tats can answer them. So that's it from my side. Tats, warm welcome. And first of all, please go a quick introduction about you, your team, the project as much as you would like, but then we can go for the demo, please.
All right. So first of all, thank you for having me here. I'm really excited. My name is Tats. I'm from Tokyo, Japan. So we are developing Kizuna messaging applications under a nonprofit organization called HCIJ, short for Holochain Institute of Japan. And we are a team of around 7 right now, but developers are a team of 3. Actually, we're a team of 6 right now. Yeah. So right now we have 3 developers and 3 others who are helping, grow the community, let the words about Kizuna be known to other people. So yeah, Kizuna messaging application, as Hidayat has explained, is a distributed peer-to-peer and nonprofit messaging application getting built on Holochain. And in the future, we would also like to offer Kizuna messaging application to organizations, may it be companies or any nonprofit organizations, communities that would like to have a simple messaging applications that they can feel safe to use and have a sense of course, hold and control over their data and their agency in general in their respective network. So I guess that's the short explanation that I could give about Kizuna. It's a messaging application. Anything that you can think of messaging in a messaging application will probably be also available in Kizuna messaging application. So yeah, that's all for now.
That is amazing. Thank you, Tats. Nice and brief introduction. So to start to play, because most probably the visitor mostly are technical. So let's first of all go to demo to see how the demo is working, how so far, what did you implement so far? So, and then we can go for the quick review if a developer or any person would like to bring up a version. It means there is a source code, how they can bring up a one version. So for a developer, and then we can jump to the code. Right now, let's go to the demo to see what we have generally.
Sure. Okay. So I will share my screen. Okay. Does everybody see my screen right now? Yes. So anyway, this is the GitHub repo for the Kizuna. I'll paste the link into the chat here. And so right now I already have the repository in my local computer. So let's jump to it. And yeah, oh, and by the way, we have a default Nix in the top level of the directory right now, but I am on Mac, so I have Holochain installed locally. So anyway, that's just a side note. So for now, I will run. So there is a kind of like a script that we have prepared to run 3 agents locally in my computer. So this is using the Bootstrap service that Holo is providing, but for Proxy, we are only running in local right now. So there's no remote proxy that is getting connected that is being used by the 3 agents in this demo that I'm going to show. So this should run 3 agents. Yep. So we are using HC Sandbox to generate 3 conductors and the respective databases and the keys. Now we have, yes, we have 3 agents running. So let's separate them so that it's easier to see what is going on. Give me a moment. Let me just switch these.
So it means we are going to test the Kizuna in the three localhost version, yes?
Right, yes. So right now we have booted up 3 agents. So first we will give them each a username just to be able to easily identify the agent. So as we in Holochain, agents are usually identified by their public key, but just so that there is a human readable information, we temporarily have a username. So to create an account, you just simply create a username for each of the agent. So this is Bob. We could have here, maybe we could do Charlie. Okay, so right now, these 3 are here. So first, in order for these 3 agents to be able to connect with each other, we add them to each of their contacts, right? So Alice can add Bob. So if you search Bob, it appears here. So she can add it into her contact, and you can also check Charlie there. So now Alice has Bob and Charlie into her contact list. Now we only need to add Alice to Bob to show you first the peer-to-peer messaging. All right, so here I could there's Bob, and we could say hello, and that will pop the message for Bob's screen, right? And the this is an unread badge count that we usually have in any messaging application. So if Bob reads the message, of course, the red badge is gone. And as you can see here, the check mark is now this is a bit small to see, but it's in double check. Anyway, we can also send a file. So also, when Alice is typing, you could see here that Bob, oops, wait, let me put this zoom toolbar above there. So when he types...
Tats, would you please a little bit shorten the height of the browser, because even in the YouTube, the bar is going to be exactly, it's going to be covered by the,
So like this?
yes, that's great, because the YouTube navigation is going to cover this one as a hassle somehow. Thank you.
Right. Okay, there. So here, as we type, of course, Bob can see that Alice is typing, and well, let's not say ha ha ha. Let's say how are you doing? And we could also send an image. Hopefully, I don't have anything there, so I could use this. Okay, we could send an image there. So, oh, okay, this may be a bug actually. That's a bit weird. Huh, it's not showing. Okay, that is the first bug. But Bob was able to receive the image, and he can also download it here, like this. And then you can open the image like that. That works. And we can also send a video. Let's choose this. Okay, it might not appear again. Oh, okay, now the video appeared. It's a bit weird that the image is not appearing. But, oh, sorry, I forgot to go back here. Bob was also able to receive it and could play it. There. So this is for video. And if you go here into the information, this is blank because we have not much things to put here yet. But if you go to media, now this appears twice. Okay, this is also a bit weird. But you can see that the image and the video is showing. And we could also send a file, I think. Let's try this, RTF. Yep, and you could see here that, yeah, Bob has received it. So you can see the text. Okay, this is just, hello. So this is for files. Now, this is for P2P messaging. And we could also do groups. Hopefully in groups, files and images will appear more properly. So now in groups, it's pretty much the same here. So as you can see, a group was created for Bob, Charlie, and Alice. And if we go to the screen for Charlie, he can also see that a group chat has been created. And as we do, like, so for example, for if Alice and, okay, let's do this quick so that Bob can see it. If Alice and Charlie is typing, Bob can see, oops, wait, that both are typing. Now, okay, it's going to disappear because Charlie and Alice is not typing anymore. So anyway, we could just basically do the same thing. We can send an image. Okay, now it appeared properly. We can also send a video. There. So pretty much the same thing. Also, right now we are implementing a lazy loading for fetching of messages. So for example, if I send a lot of messages like this, okay, the video is twitching a bit, but that is something we are trying to fix right now. Yeah, pardon the twitching. Just spare me a moment. Let's send a lot of messages, right? Oh, okay. This may be a bit, okay, there. So just keep sending messages. 19, 20. Right, so now we have 20 messages. Well, not more than 20 messages, right? Okay, let's send more just to make sure. 24. Okay. So if we go back, we hit refresh and we check here. So as you can see, as we do, yeah, so that was messages getting getting fetched in batches from Holochain. So we implement this not only in the chat box, but as well as in the media box here. Okay, this may. So for media, I might not be able to show it because I need to send at least 40 images in order for the lazy loading to get activated. So that may take too much time for now. But I just wanted to show that we are also implementing that right now.
Thank you. The whole idea is amazing, and for others, I need to explain that definitely we are going to review the technology or the pattern behind the lazy loading, because the lazy loading we already know in a centralized fashion or architecture. So you can it is really easy because it is a centralized. You can easily have a record number in database, how much did you load, and easily you can go to the next page, which is really easy. But in the peer-to-peer distributed data in the DHT, so it is not really easy for the lazy loading. It means chunking the data and paging the data and go and fetch the data. So for sure, it is one of the nice pattern. I think other project, most probably they're gonna need it. How we can load, implement lazy loading and load the data, a bunch of data. So I just wanted to add that one of the really important things is the lazy loading that we are going to review later. So what else? The demo is finished, or?
Sorry, I closed the share screen. For now, okay. Well, we can also update the group name.
And it was also my question. Yeah, how we can add a new person to group? Is it implemented or not? Remove, add. Oh,
yes.
beautiful if we can see this.
Okay, wait. Sorry, this is only 3 agents, and the thing is, we are not allowing for groups to go less than 3 members because then it's not a group anymore. So let me run 5 agents to show you how that is done. So, okay, this may take a
Can I ask a question?
Sure. Yes.
Just while you're loading, is it possible to modify a message once you've sent it, like retract and maybe change the message?
Change the content. Right now, we don't have the feature to edit the message. Yes. But if you are asking if that is possible, I think with proper implementation and architecture, that is possible. But yeah, I think it just needs a little bit of art thinking for that to be implemented.
But not all messenger also in centralized we can edit, like WhatsApp we cannot.
Right, Signal we cannot as well.
We cannot, yes.
And I think once encryption, also we are not yet implementing any kind of encryption as does this moment. So everything is in plain text. So that is another topic that we will be discussing. And we would like to actually invite not just us but other projects and other interested members of the community, because I think this is going to be a topic that will not only impact our project but of course other projects as well. And so yeah, we have looked into how Signal does encryption as well. But it's inherently built to work in a centralized, well, a presence of a trusted server is a must for Signal messaging to work. So we are thinking how that can be translated in a distributed setting, or maybe we should be thinking in a different angle. So these kind of things. Right. So yeah, I'll just show the. Oh, by the way, it's in. We also have internationalization, so this is in Japanese. Bear with us. What's a good name for it? Let's go with Danica. And oh, this is also in Japanese. Right. Let's change it to English. Okay, then this too. Okay. And also in the Holochain side, we already have implemented something called preference. Basically, if you would like to turn off your typing indicator and read receipt, you could, but we have not yet quite done that in the UI. But on the Holochain side, it already works. So that's a way to turn off your typing indicator and preference. And for us in Kizuna, from the get-go, we were thinking how to give people who will be using Kizuna the maximum amount of choices that they can make into shaping their experiences in this particular application, but without overwhelming them with too much of information. So yeah, that's the reason why we also are trying to implement that. So without further ado, let's go to Danica, yes, and Eve. Yes, now we have 4 members. Let's add all of them. Oh, wait. No. Let's not add all of them. Let's just add 2 people. Hello. Now, for example, I would like to add, so as you can see here right now, they have it, but Eve, or no, Danica doesn't have it. So we can add Danica, add, and we close it. Danica is here. Danica refreshes her screen, she sees it, right? It's already part of the message. And we can change the group name to, let's say, Holochain-in-Action.
Tats, is there any meaning of admin of group or no? Anybody actually playing that?
Yes. Wow. So right now only admin can add or remove members. So this is right now a very basic role assigning that we are doing. But in the long run, by the way, all of the groups are right now in the same DHT. But in the we also have in the milestone to separate them into their each of their DHTs. Yes. So this is the cloning pattern that often being discussed in the Holochain space. So with that, of course, we also have to think about membrane proofs. How do we, and I think Elemental Chat is doing something with this. It's called like joining code. I'm not sure how they will be implementing that, but having some sort of membrane proofs as well as, reassigning of roles. So right now, Alice cannot make, for example, Bob an admin or Charlie an admin. But in the future, we would definitely like to do that. And then how much of granular control, like how much of functions do we give each member? So we would also like to give the person who created the group as much choices there in order to assign roles. So I think there is already Zoom for roles. I've seen this before so yeah, if there is already a usable any mix-ins or modules that we could use, then we are definitely yeah. So anyway, so we can also remove member just
What happened to member that already sent or it's going to be vanished, yes? So it means the user cannot see the history, but just not the group is going to be vanished for the removed user.
Yes. When we remove a member, that particular agent cannot fetch the group, but any messages that for example, Danica has sent, so we can re-add her, and it's going to appear again, of course. And for example, if Danica sends a message, of course, Alice can see it. And let's say Alice removes Danica right now. Danica will not be able to see the messages anymore, but her message is going to stay here. Okay, this is a bug because should be displaying Danica. But this is interesting actually because we have already removed Danica. Alice cannot also fetch the username because that is already removed from the entry of the group information.
But Tats, if a user send a message to group after leaving the group, it's supposed to be there also in the history.
It will be there. Yes. That is not going to disappear.
If a new user come to the group, he or she can see all the previous message, or they are going to see the new from the join.
Right now, the new member can see past messages because we are not, but that will change once we think about encryption. Because when we think about encryption in group, usually the key, well, this is something that we still need to discuss. We haven't come up to a decision, and group encryption is a challenging topic, not just for distributed applications, but as well as for centralized messaging applications. Usually group messagings have weaker encryption schemes than compared to peer-to-peer messaging. So it could be that when a member leaves, the group key that is being shared among the participant gets updated to a new key. Then when a new member joins, that member obviously cannot decrypt the past messages.
Yes.
That member does not have the right key to do so.
Actually, it is the challenge of encryption in a group messaging. I think in a group messaging, there are a bunch of challenges that makes even the things harder, especially after removing or adding a new message. If you agree, let's go to the technical implementation. Let's postpone for later. And let's review the other functionality which is there to see what we already have as a proof of concept in a Holochain Kizuna application. So for sure, we are going to review group, the whole topic. How did you implement group? How you deal with the group as an entity? And what is the plan for the DNA cloning, multi-DNA in a group? It is the beautiful topic, and we are going to focus on it. We are going to deep dive into this pattern. But let's postpone it, and right now go to the feature list. What other feature list is there?
Actually, right now we pretty much have, apart from what I've shown right now, Actually, I think that's already it because I've already shown you the red badge. So, for example, if I send a message here, So there's also a bunch of signals being implemented so that a member does not have to. So we've built the front end of Kizuna to be more reactive to signals in a sense. So when I send a message without refreshing the screen, Bob can receive the message. And if he reads the message, okay, this one needs to get refreshed, but not really, actually. If he goes back here, or maybe we do. So the check mark here was 1 check. Now it's 2 checks because Bob has read it. So if one member reads the message, right now we are automatically flagging it as read. Yes. And typing is also available in groups, as I mentioned a while ago. Yeah, so this is right now and also for contacts, you can remove a contact member, I think. Yes, you can.
Okay.
And that will disappear from the contact list. You can block them as well. And right now, if you block an agent, you cannot add that agent into the group, obviously. So yeah, you will see the list of the block here. Actually, that's pretty much it, I guess, for what we have in the
feature list. Yes. I have a question. for the invitation, adding another person, is there any confirmation process? If you add me in your group, I'm going to be added automatically.
Yes, right now, actually, so for peer-to-peer messaging, if I send a message, if you have not added me in your contact, the message will not appear. So for example, so this is Bob, right? We could move Bob here. So this is Bob, and we have Charlie. So if Bob adds Charlie and sends a message to Charlie, like this, it will not appear in Charlie's screen. That is because Charlie has not yet added Bob.
Okay.
So this is supposed to be, it is not yet implemented in the UI, but what we will be doing is basically have them in the kind of like a message requests place where an agent can see the messages that that was being sent to him or her that is not part of her contacts. So that's one. For groups though, you can receive messages even if you are not part of the group right now. But that will also change if we move into the DNA cloning pattern, I think.
So what if a user is offline and a user is not online to receive the online message? So what is the process? Is there anything to demo, or you just can explain?
No, right now everything. Well, for group, we are publishing the messages in the DHT. So this is going to be the design even in a DNA cloning pattern. Actually, essentially, that is why we need cloning for DNA cloning pattern, because we wouldn't want messages to be published into the DHT where non-members of the group can fetch them somehow, right? So, so there's that. But all messages right now are happening, especially for P2P, they are happening synchronously. So yes, what we are waiting for right now is so in the, I do not know when, but in the future, I think there is a plan for Holochain to have something that I don't also know the name, but I have it in my mind as some sort of ephemeral delivery system, which is basically I send a message to, for example, Bob. If Bob's conductor is offline, I can send it to the neighbors of Bob, and the neighbor will store my message encrypted until Bob comes online. So when Bob's conductor comes back online or boots up again, I think Bob will have to do gossiping to his neighborhood, right? So within that process, there will be some sort of, I think, way to fetch that message. So that's how asynchronous messaging will be happening in peer-to-peer.
I see. Tats, let's do not go to more detail again here. Thank you. We are going to review all of them. But in short, right now, the scenario that between Alice and Bob, if Bob is offline right now, in the current implementation, Bob cannot receive the message if he's offline, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
It will result to an error. Yeah, network error, basically.
Okay. For the people that watching about a cloning DNA that you are hearing, really short description that cloning DNA, because the DNA is kind of access control on data. The agent who installed the DNA can access the data inside DNA. So group in the message, it is kind of beautiful example for the cloning. It means on the fly, you can install a new group. It means on the fly, you can, for a group message, we can create a DNA and clone the DNA on the fly. So the people inside the DNA, which is group right now, like a group message, only those people can read the data. So just imagine all the group would be in the same DNA. Anybody could see the message, however encrypted, but also hosting some data as an agent is going to be topic and issue. So cloning DNA is a pattern. We are going to talk about it later for Kizuna and other applications that you will see how to use the benefit. Also, there is a concern about the holo hosting because it is a little bit challenge. Also, we are going to jump into it later. So right now, because you heard the DNA cloning, I want to mention this pattern, more detail later actually. So I would like to ask other friends here if anybody would like to ask any question or not. Otherwise, we can take a little bit more code GitHub to see what's happening. Anybody, any question? Guillaume, do you have any topic?
Like the general comment for me, oh, there's a lot of echo here. Is that you guys are doing a great job, and also look forward to being able to use some of the zones and tools that you already developed. My question would be, how is the team feeling? How are you doing as a human team?
It's been a really exciting process, and also I would just like to say that this was not going to be possible without help, not without help from external um, organizations and people, and one of them is GM. GM has tremendously helped us in architecting the zones that we have, and so that's I would just like to say that. And also Manuel from EYS's team has been helping us tremendously, so really thank you for that. How the team is feeling, we are very excited actually, because a while ago, so we have set up our own Kitsune P2P proxy server. And a while ago, we were actually chatting with Kizuna. I was sending messages from group to Philippines, and then they were like, "Oh wait, I received a message. Oh wait, you're typing. I can see the typing." And I think because the proxy server we set is very tiny, we can only pretty much run like 3 agents, and things become a little bit weird. But we were able to like actually be in the same group and talk and chat, and so that was really fun. So it's just really exciting to see the things that we've been working hard for, in that see it in real and see it work. So yeah, we've been really exciting, and also we've also trying to not overwork ourselves, in a sense, trying to take really good care of our personal mental health, physical health, and so trying to hit that balance as well is also an effort that we are trying to make.
Thank you for answer. Thank you, Guillaume, for the good question that you mentioned and all support you had with the team and other team also. Thank you, Guillaume. Then the next step, we are going to jump to take a look, and we are going to encounter the two phrases that are really important: proxy and a bootstrap server. Can you explain for the people that they are going to engage any application, what is the difference between a proxy server and a bootstrap server?
Sure. Okay. First of all, the Bootstrap is not a server, it's a service. That's the first good distinction. So, okay. Two similar, no, it's not similar. Let me explain it and we'll see. So you have the Bootstrap service. Okay, let's focus on that for a moment. So, okay, I'm running a peer-to-peer application in this computer, and you're running the same peer-to-peer application in this computer, but at the network layer, which have one IP address, and we don't know each other, and we have to connect, and we have to somehow find each other, right? we have to discover. So that's what the Bootstrap service does. The Bootstrap service basically triangulates people together and says, oh, okay, Hidayat is running Kizuna app with this hash number 1. I'm running Kizuna app with hash number 1, and Tats is running Kizuna with hash number 1. Okay, the three should connect. So the Bootstrap service is not a centralized thing through which all the communication happens. It's more at the Bootstrap. when the nodes are bootstrapping and coming online, the first set of nodes, they ask the Bootstrap server, okay, who is playing by this hash? And this is segmented by application. So if I'm playing Kizuna by hash number 2, because I tweaked it a bit or whatever, I ask the Bootstrap service, and the Bootstrap service says, yeah, I don't know anyone who's running Kizuna number 2, so you are alone, good luck. Yeah, we'll triangulate you with hash number 2 if someone appears. And yeah.
To confirm, it is kind of a signaling server in the peer-to-peer distributed ecosystem, because we don't have any centralized server that we can go and identify ourselves and bridge each other and see each other via a bridge. So we need to know in the passenger in the street, so we don't know who is there. There should be some signaling that we can see each other, that we can easily start communicating each other. Where are you? Who are you? And then we can go to the peer-to-peer direct communication. Am I right?
Exactly.
So
exactly.
it means the whole concept of a Bootstrap server is kind of signaling in the whole architect of the peer-to-peer distributed architect. Thank you.
Exactly. What the Bootstrap service stores is pairs of hash IP address. So these are the list of computers that are running this hash. Okay, and you have a list of IP addresses. And when you have that list, you can connect directly, because the internet is actually architected in a somewhat centralized way, just from the IP addresses level, right? So yeah, that's what we have right now. I just one last point about the Bootstrap service, which is it's not a server, because it's run on Cloudflare workers, and Cloudflare workers are running distributedly around the world. So it's not decentralized in the same sense as Holochain, but it's basically very, very resilient, right? And we can get into it in another session when we talk about security, but this is really important to avoid Eclipse attacks and other security threats. So that's the Bootstrap service. Okay, now you have another problem, which is you are in a laptop in your house running behind a router, which like a LAN. So the IP address of your laptop is not really the IP address that the others have to know. And then you are running behind firewalls, and then you may be running with VPNs of like the normal scenario for someone is not to have their address available to be called on the internet, right? So I'm here on my laptop within a Wi-Fi address. Someone trying to call the router from the internet will actually not reach to me if I haven't opened the connection. So there is this gap which the proxy server tries to solve. So what the proxy server does is basically proxy holochain nodes through them. So okay, let's imagine that I'm behind a LAN and Tats is behind a LAN also, but Hidayat is on the internet. Like it's running some I don't know, some machine that that doesn't have any router. It's directly connecting to the one. So Hidayat can run a proxy server, and we can connect to Hidayat's proxy server, and then we can announce, hey, if you want to talk to me, you can go through Hidayat. And me and Hidayat maintain an open connection, and Hidayat routes everything that is is targeted to me and to Tats, right? Um, and this is how elemental chat tests are being run now. There are different, like this is the basic. Different caveats are that actually every Holochain node is packing the proxy server functionality. So any Holochain node can serve as a proxy for other Holochain nodes, which doesn't convert the proxy server into a centralized server. Right now, it is a centralized server because testing. But in the future, anyone can become a proxy server, and like there could be proxy services like, okay, let's bootstrap 10 servers here in Barcelona or whatever to be able to route all the activity. So that's the idea. How does that impact hub development? So if you are in local and trying to connect to conductors, you will need to connect to the Bootstrap service. You won't need proxy server because actually they can see each other. They can think that they are IP addresses, are the IP addresses of the internet, but really they are not. It's the LAN IP addresses, but they can connect each other. Like they try to look in the network, okay, what's the IP address that ends with 037? Oh, it's you, okay, and they connect. If you are trying to connect to conductors from different LANs, you will need both the Bootstrap service and the proxy server. And Tats, I don't know if you want to explain more about it, but you need to connect. If you don't use one proxy server that the community is running, which I think we have a list somewhere, you would need to create your own. Like I think that's, I don't know where yours is running, but I've run in Amazon Web
Yep.
Services, which is
AWS.
ironic. But
Yeah.
for the time being, this is what we have. So yeah, this is basically it.
Thank you. It is beautiful. Thank you for nice explanation. But I have one question here. If anybody else also, please. So the scenario for the Bootstrap service, it was obvious what's happening. We basically need it because of the signaling. So for the finding and networking topic, so it means behind the firewall. So what happening, or a NAT system, because we have a 192.968.0.1 and a 0.2. Internally, they see each other, but from outside, both of them are the same with the same IP address. So it means the scenario, we need a proxy server. If our conductor, most probably right now running in a development phases, because we are testing program, if they are all in the same network, so they don't need any proxy server. But if they would like, for example, maybe later on we are going to chat with Tats in reality to see that I can send from Germany, I can send a message to Tats, and we can test the Kizuna in reality. So in that case, from a two different network, we need this proxy server.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly right.
So that's the point. Yeah, Tats, please.
Yeah. And I think, well, for us in Kizuna as well, well, I think this is not just in Kizuna, but in Holochain application, there is beauty in allowing two agents to connect with each other directly if they don't need to go through if they don't need to make a round trip to a proxy server or anything, right? So I think there is another network type that is being implemented right now. I think it's MDNS. I'm not sure if that is something connected to this, but even in Kizuna, we would like to think of local first kind of thinking, that if you don't need to go around the world to send your data back to someone who is sitting beside you or somewhere near you, then we don't have to, right? You could just use a local network to send messages to each other. And so I think there's a beauty in that. And we're so used to using centralized servers to do these kind of connections. But I think that is something that I am personally looking forward to that, and I think that's something really exciting too.
Is there any other question, guys? So, Tats, I suggest this one. I made a list of a feature list. So I would like to mention those that which of them have a great potential to go a little bit for a pattern, reusable module, and etc. So I recommend that let's postpone it for the next one because this session is going to be really long. So, and also other can warm up. Kizuna is there. So this is all the functionality that we have. Maybe other people or developer can see similarity in their way and they would like to join or ask a question. So I suggest let's at first go to GitHub. If you can share where is the GitHub and how developers can bring up instance, what comment or what is your, or I think you are on Mac, or if you have any suggestion, any topic about, and right now we already talked about the Bootstrap and Proxy. If you have any topic about bringing up one or a couple of instance, please mention. Then we go to the feature list and wrap up today's meeting and postpone all the modularity and a technical deep dive in a design and architect for the next session.
Yeah, sure. So right now, anyone who wishes to play with Kizuna can simply go to the repository. I think I shared the link in the chat, but specifically, so it's in GitHub. Okay, there. github.com hc-institute-japan/Kizuna. Just be aware that the K is in capital letter. This might have been a mistake that yeah, sorry if you have a bit of hard time going into that. Anyway, so you can clone this simply, and there's not much readme here too, so this is something that we need to work on. But anyway, there's a note there that says right now we are currently actively developing in the UI branch. So if you wish to play with Kizuna, please clone the repository and then check out the UI branch that we have here in the repository. And if you go to UI branch, you can simply just run, and you can go to the UI branch. Oh, actually, first of all, there is the default Nix. Okay, so for anyone who wishes to simply get inside the Nix shell, we have this. And right now we are running the same Holochain version with this revision. Anyway, so you can join the Nix shell there. Also, if you go to UI, just simply npm install, and then if you npm run demo, right, which is this script here in the package.json, you will see here this one. So you just npm run demo, and this is what I did a while ago. It will boot up 3 local agents for you, and you will be able to play with Kizuna and see how things are working from there. And just one more note, if you would like to see the DNA codes, right, the holochain codes, you simply go to DNA's lobby and you will see all the zones that we have been implementing right now. So that's all. Although for P2P message, I'm sorry, just one more thing. For P2P message, this is a remote repository. And I think in the next session, I would also like to talk about, and this is something the team needs advice on, like how can we share the zones as modules so that other projects can use it as well. So this is a topic that we wish to discuss. Hopefully we can get feedback from the community as well. Anyway, just for the P2P message zone, it is here in the P2P message zone repository. So this is, oh, there is a vulnerability in the dependency. We have to fix that. Anyway, so this is the P2P message. So yeah, this is also something you could check out if you wish to use it or play with it. Yes, or see the code. That's all.
So that is great. Thank you. And if there is nothing, you are still in share document. Yes, great. So that is great, Tats. Personally, I'm super happy to see the application is coming up, that more than proof of concept, it is really working. And I think when we have at least a beta version of a Holoport and Holochain running with something for a conductor, the Kizuna is going to be one of the first one that really people are going to use. So it is my take from today's session. Kizuna has a direct message as a feature list, direct message. First of all, create a user, your username in a profile. So the whole topic of a profile and Holochain is going to be beautiful discussion. We are going to take a look and how you can reuse it. For sure, Tats can explain how other project can reuse it. So the whole topic of a profiling, it is the big topic. And also, I think we would have enough space here to talk a little bit about DeepKey. And it would be fantastic if Guillaume would promise to come to just join again and just share. That is great, Guillaume. Thank you. So first of all, the feature list, create a username, the whole profile topic, then sending a direct message. It means adding each other and direct message. And when you create a profile, you are ready to be added. We have a concept named lobby. Next week, we are going to talk about the lobby and profiling. So, and then direct message, it means how peers are supposed to see each other. And we already talked today about the Bootstrap and Proxy, and you can connect all of them. So for sure, it's going to be a hot topic, how we can reuse the zone to your zone and library. It's going to be nice. Group message is really big and nice topic that as a feature of a Kizuna. So add a user as an admin, it means application Kizuna has a role management. How you can reuse a role management, that is really nice. I'm really looking forward. Add and remove an all topic about the new user added to group. It's really nice. Sending file, it's beautiful because in the PShare we are going to use it and we are going to reuse it if possible. Also, GM implemented file storage. I'm looking forward to see how other application and how Kizuna fixing this one and how did you cover and how others can reuse it. You send almost any file. So it means we are going to have architect and design our file management. So beautiful topic, lazy loading in Kizuna, and there is a pattern behind it. So it is a time indexing. So how the data is supposed to be indexed by the time added and how we can, in the complex architect of a peer-to-peer distributed, we can implement lazy loading. In the centralized world, it is really easy. We don't see it as a challengeable functionality, but it's beautiful. So one really nice feature I saw in Kizuna, read message and delivered message. I really like both of them, and I really would like to see what did you do Tats for that one. It means for sure in a lot of cases we are going to see others also need it, and also the lock and log. And there are a couple of other things you promise for the future, like a cloning DNA. I hope I cannot promise everything for the next meeting, but I think the cloning is going to be really challengeable discussion because I think a lot of a new pattern is going to come. For the group data and group right now, group are in the same DNA, which is not, as Tats mentioned, a correct architect for right now, but for the future. So it is generally the feature list of the Kizuna so far. Kizuna is under the process of implementation, and for sure in the future we are going to hear more update and news about the Kizuna, and Tats are gonna promise us that always keep us updated. And I think that's it from my side, because I was making notes during the demo. I just want to mention, what did I see? Is there anything missed? I missed something, please add.
Yeah, I think one thing is for contacts that is in a different zone right now. So I think that's also something, one of the reusable modules that other projects would be able to use, not just for messaging. Actually, if you would just like to add, remove, block, unblock any agent, that is a very good simple zone. So that's just my addition, I guess.
That is fantastic. That is fantastic. From my side, that's it. Super thanks to Guillaume, like always, with the beautiful knowledge sharing. So that's amazing that we have Guillaume here, that we learn always from Guillaume. Thank you, Guillaume. Thank you.
No, thanks to that. It's really exciting to see projects coming down, and almost like this is almost ready to have some kind of test with real users. So this is really exciting. Yeah, props.
Thank you for having me today, everyone. It was really fun, and hope to see you soon. Hope to see you next time.
Thank you, Tats, and we are going to have you more. Don't worry, and just please share as much as you can. It is super beautiful, and thank you. So for the, maybe we can stay more, I don't know, but for the people watching the video, we are going to terminate. This meeting is a little bit longer than this video. You know, everything you can find in the description in the video in YouTube. Have a nice day, evening, morning, anything, and bye-bye. Thank you to everybody joined today.